Hello, BookTube. Sorry once again for the complete darkness. This is 1 in the afternoon, but it is as dark as late twilight. The lights are on here. It's pouring rain. It's cold, and I don't think this rain is much heavier than yesterday, and it's been going on much longer. So I doubt this video is going to upload anytime soon. But I wanted to make just a very quick video. I'm not going to try any other videos today. We're all just going to have to wait until the weather clears. For your Daily Penguin and your Mega Stuff updates and all that sort of stuff. But egotistic self-regard waits for no man. And it recently on this channel, we hit yet another subscriber milestone, 7.9K, on our inexorable march to 8K, which is utterly unbelievable. But 7.9K is also, in its own way, completely unbelievable. But nevertheless, I didn't want to wait any longer because I like to do these Q&A videos on the weekends. So once again, I want to thank you all. That's the main thing here. It is not so much what comes of a Q&A, but mainly to thank you all for the company. I've had quite a few emails and comments from people who say up front in their email and comment that they're brand new to the channel. That is such a weird feeling. And to those of you who are watching who fall into that category, you're entirely welcome. We have a lot of fun here. To those newcomers and to all of you battered old veterans, I want to put out a call once again for questions. Since what we tend to do on these 00 anniversary milestone type things is Q&A. So if you have any questions to leave them on this video, and if I get enough of them, then I will do a Q&A answer this coming weekend to round out the month of October. So, which leads me to wonder, obviously it leads me to wonder, are we going to hit 8K in 2020? That would be amazing. Absolutely incredible. But one way or another, I have loved the questions that you have all managed to come up with every time we hit one of these 00 milestones. So if you have more questions, feel free to ask them now. And I'll answer them on the weekend. I'll answer any of the ones that I get on the weekend. With a couple of noted exceptions. We want to make a couple of guidelines here. Number one, they'll be familiar to those of you who've done this many, many times. Number one is that I leave my email on every video. That is not a corporate email. That is not a dummy email. That is not a merch store. That is my email. To my extremely bursting inbox, hundreds and hundreds of emails that I have to answer every day, leaving apart all the ones that I don't. Anything that I see that I can postpone, I can, and I do, but that still leaves hundreds of emails. And that email address is for you to talk to me directly, as opposed to leaving comments, public comments on a video, which means that your question in a Q&A video that is public, of course, and that is going to be a video, shouldn't be a specific, very specific request for a recommendation, a book recommendation for you or someone you know, or something like that. You should, when you're thinking of your question, if you have one, you should spare a second to think whether or not it's of any interest to anyone but you. I wouldn't begrudge it otherwise, but you have a way to ask me directly for individual questions that are just specific to you. So you should take advantage of that. Caveat number two, slight caveat number two, would be, of course, that brevity is the soul of wit. If your question or questions range to 7,000 words, if they are disquisitions, if they include links to scholarly articles, that's going to put a damper on them. It's going to slow things down and make them even more tedious than they already will be. And of course, the third one barely needs mentioning, except every once in a while, this channel still manages to attract a troll. Still manages to galvanize someone to leave a ridiculously obnoxious comment or a completely clueless comment or something like that. When I'm talking about a book haul, if I do a mail haul, I'm talking about a new book, a 2020 release. Someone leaves a message or sends me an email or whatever saying, "How do I get books?" Well, okay, I don't have any idea how to contextualize a question like that. It's not possible for you to know how to leave that question on an internet platform without knowing the answer to that question. So I have to wonder if something else is going on. Same thing is true with Again, this isn't much of an active concern on this channel, but a question that uses as its throat-clearing matter a personal insult to me. Look, Steve, I know you're a big, hairy sexist, but I thought even given that, I might ask you a question. Yeah, thanks. You know what you can do to yourself and the horse you rode in on. You don't get to insult me on this channel. It's very simple, and questions tend to bring that out. But again, on this channel, not that often. Or other, weird, obnoxious comments. You should probably just leave them out. I will ignore them. So it's a waste of your time to do it. Like a comment that I had on a recent video just the other day. Somebody left a comment saying, watching this video makes me hate books and reading. Which is, I'm sure it was made by a flesh and blood, pulse-bearing human being, but they ought to take a long look in the mirror because they are a troll. Trolls leave abjectly, openly nonsensical comments intentionally designed to be hot takes that start arguments. That's all trolls want, is to start arguments. They don't care about what they're saying, and they don't believe any of it, positive or negative. And I know, again, I don't know what to do with a comment that can look at even 5 seconds of any of the 10,000 videos I've left on this channel and think this makes me hate books and reading. and the reason why I can't think that is because the person who left the comment didn't believe it, doesn't believe it. They're just trolling. Same thing with the people who open their questions with personal insults. It's just trolling. So we don't have to worry about that because we're all friends here, mostly, 99.9%. But so the other caveats, try and keep it a general interest question as much as possible. Try and keep it brief. I don't think I really need to stress the gotcha questions where usually a man and either a former academic or a failed academic will pick some 10th tier 18th century pamphlet writer and ask what I think of them specifically because they want me to say I've never heard of them and that I've never read them. That sort of thing gets old really fast. But again, those are all caveats for really an alternate universe in which a channel could get this big, relatively speaking, in booktube terms this big, and not fail to attract those kind of people. But somehow that has managed not to happen with this channel, despite its controversial beginning, and despite the fact that I'm not always warm and fuzzy. We are still a wonderful community here, so I really don't need to worry about the questions. The only thing that I really wonder about, not so much worry about as wonder about, is whether or not there'll be any, or whether or not you people are finally questioned out from all the questions that you have asked me over the last year. Because we've been doing this all through 2020. Every time a new 100 subscribers shows up, we just open the torrent for questions. So there you go. We will try it again. Those of you who are brand new to the channel, I should stress also, in addition to welcome, feel free to make yourself at home. I should also stress, don't worry if you wonder, I haven't been here. You've made a million videos. You have lots of engagement. I'm worried that I might be asking a question that's been asked before. Do not worry about that. That is the least of our concerns. Anybody's concerns, especially mine. So there you go. It's a 7.9K Q&A. Feel free to leave your questions on this video, and we'll see what we can make of them on the weekend. Thank you, BookTube.